Kumadoe, security analyst. Kumadoe, good evening. Thank you for joining us. First off, let's understand the shift in focus in the security interventions in Bawku from peacekeeping to peace enforcement. What does this mean?
Okay, so these are military language, or these are security management language. But the whole operation is we see it's a security management approach. And these approaches are options available to security management officers, particularly those at the helm of affairs. How do they come to some of these conclusions, and which approach to use is dependent on what we call security risk assessment. If you remember, Bawku has been in the news for some time now. It means that taking this decision, they have done the security risk assessment in recent weeks or days or months and have come to a conclusion that the risks we are facing to peace has moved from a very low risk to medium high. And the threat to national security and national stability has moved higher. In that regard, you deploy the military operation or you deploy a security management operation that helps you to curtail whatever is fueling the threat and to neutralize what the risk elements are. And that is why he used the military language to say they want to sanitize the place and they are there for enforcing the peace and not to maintain the peace.
I see. Then how would that also impact on the evolving nature of the conflict in Bawku, and take into consideration the fact that there's already a mediation talk in place and ongoing, and then also the curfew that we've seen imposed as well?
So there are two different things. The mediation arena by our grandfather, our father Asantehene, deals with a different aspect of the conflict, and their methodology is different. What we are seeing now is to neutralize a threat that is becoming very hot and making Bawku a very hostile environment. So you will need an aggressive nature of a military force to be able to curtail it and to be able to deal with it. The conflict-related personalities within the Bawku area are going to experience some level of discomfort, and care is not taken. People who find themselves at the wrong places at the wrong times, it can become very vulnerable to the outcomes of military operations when you have soldiers in the front line maintaining law and order in a society where law has broken and there's no order, and what you see is disorderliness. So that is what we are facing. Now, when it comes to the curfew, we can agree that it's a little bit harsh, but it's also based on the risk elements that is fueling the conflict in Bawku and the exigencies of the place. We also understand that curfews are short-term measures. And once the situation begins to stabilize a little bit because of the presence of the soldiers, I am very sure the Ministry of Interior, within a week or two or three, will have to review the curfew so that it creates a little bit of leverage for the people who are found within the Bawku enclave.
And I thank you very much for joining us. Richard Kumadoe is a security analyst, and to talk about the curfew. You hear our correspondent, Kasu Senyala, who's moving with the military every step of the way, talk about 2 p.m. That's when the curfew kicks in. The residents there are supposed to be indoors. But this is Ghana Tonight. Stay with us because we have eyes and keeping tabs on what's happening in the Bawku enclave as we continue to urge peace and how things are playing out in there. And this is what the President, John Dramani Mahama, said earlier today, also appealing for peace while reinforcing the focus of this military deployment in the area.